Hello, hello, and we are back again for What Remains of Edith Finch. So episode 3 this time. So we're having a
Instead
look
of
around.
hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Yes, by killing things. So we're still in Sam's room. Okay, so it's no, don't, didn't want to go in there yet. Hold on. Still want to explore a little bit in here. Haven't really looked around this room yet. So he does seem to be, he was an ex-marine, he was quite into hunting, he liked taking photos. Got knocked off a cliff by a deer in a very satisfying way because, you know, shoot an animal, celebrate, then pose with its body. Kind of deserved to get knocked off a cliff. It's kind of fair, I think. So, yep.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
I'm sure. Let me just double check again. So Sam was Dawn's dad, and Sam was also Edie's son. So yeah, so Edie's, yeah, we knew Edie was Dawn's grandmother anyway. So she got close to her grandmother when her dad died, because obviously they were both very upset by it, I'm sure. So now we're in the room. Gregory and Dawn. It's Gregory. I think he must have only just been a little baby. Divorce contract. Okay, well, for a start, can we just... Is this like a baby that died when it was like 1? Like, hold on. Oh, I keep putting it going the wrong way. Why would you put a divorce contract in a dead baby's cot, for fuck's sake? That's so weird. That's really not okay. Yes, go.
Dear Kay, do you
Who's
remember the
Kay?
way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Oh, I'm a baby.
He saw things the rest of us don't.
Look, a frog. Meow. Meow. Look, a frog going on a mad one around the place. Whew.
Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to...
Listen, bath time's over when I say it's over, Mom.
Hello?
Hehehehe.
I told you I don't want to speak right now.
Meow. This is fun. Why does this never happen when I have a bath? Ding 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 ding. You saw a frog jumping up and headbutting bubbles of rubber ducks. Go and get the other one. Yes. Woo, yeah, woo. Phew. Then stuff came around like whoa, 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 bop, bop, bop. Oh shit.
Lost in his imagination.
Woo! This is fun. Get out of here, whale. I want to be the whale. Can I be the whale instead? Is there any way I can like change from frog? Everyone's going in the big line now. Oh yeah. Oh, look at this. Boom. It's fun.
I worried about a baby being too happy.
Yeah, why would you worry about a baby being too happy? I'm slipping away. What do you mean?
Sorry about that.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Wait, I don't understand what happened.
Hold on, I don't want to...
I wish you could have told us
Yay. Woo-woo.
about the woman you saw.
Oh god, no. Seriously, if I drown myself in this bath as a baby,
There's so much I don't understand.
oh for fuck's sake. What is it with this game? This game is so fucking fucked up.
About everything.
Jesus Christ.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Oh no. He called and then she answered and the baby like put the wire back on and drowned itself.
I'm sure he's happy.
Jesus Christ.
And he'd want you to be happy too.
This is so messed up.
Love, Sam.
That is so messed up. That is, oh, that's so fucked. Oh Jesus, that's so bad. Fucking hell. But like, why would you, why would you put divorce papers in a cot of a dead baby? Christ. Why does everyone in this family have the most horrific, heart-wrenching deaths?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
How does this go? Turn around, turn around. I want to hear the rest.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Why did Gus hate weddings so much? Like I do understand. I've been to weddings. They're shit, but still. Why would you be so averse to having one yours? Like, I wouldn't want a wedding in my house.
We don't need a stepmom.
It's nightmarish, but still. Oh, okay. Yeah, he obviously didn't want Sam to get remarried, you know. That's obviously what it was. Let's call off this wedding with my massive kite. Ah. Where hit this guy up here? Nope. Oh, more words. Hello.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Kind of unfair to make him go though, like you can understand why you wouldn't want to
Picked up and panicked geese appeared
have a
and quickly went.
stepmom.
But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
I swear to God, if this ends with Gus dying in some horrific way.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Well, there's a storm coming. Caused by me, kind of.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power.
No.
All my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Don't know if power and louder really rhyme. Supposed to do a bit, but oh shit. Oh, we're destroying the tent now. Oh, for fuck's sake, are you serious? Guess Gus gets
I
like
wish that I
set
could
on
truly
fire
say
by
I
a
thought
tent or
about you on
something.
that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Oh, for fuck's sake, seriously. Another person. What is it with everyone in this family being
She never
brutally
told me about
killed?
it. Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
That's so sad. This game is really, really dark. Going from a baby drowning and me watching it in first person to this kid being killed because he didn't want to go to his dad's new wedding. Jesus. Well, okay. Yeah, I thought we
My
might
mom
climb,
moved
but
up
it
to the
didn't really
loft
work the
after
first
her
time.
brothers died.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Imagine.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Imagine being in that position, your siblings dying. This is a cool room.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Oh, so she was married to an Indian. Interesting. It's pretty cool. "10 ways to teach critical thinking." Wow, she was flying to India. I wonder if she ever went. Well, like, I know she did go. So, I'm not sure why I'm having this little monologue right now, because she obviously went and met that. Oh,
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
yeah, understandable too, I suppose. It's a pretty cool old computer. I think that's cool. Like, that's a cool place to live. It's a cool place to sleep. That little pole that you slide down is cool. But like, imagine having to climb up a climbing wall every time you want to get to your room. I'd just never go down. You'd go down for dinner and be like, no, I'm not going near my loft until bedtime. Or that, or, you know. I'd come up with a better way. I can't say I enjoy going up a climbing wall every single time I wanted to do something in my own room. So I'm not really sure. Okay, so we went back down. Are we supposed to go back out? Or are we... This game, I don't think there's ever been... Well, I suppose in Barbara's room I had to go back out, but... It's not really common in this game to, like, go backwards. Most of the time you are moving forwards through the different passages and stuff, so... We'll see. See in a second if this actually leads anywhere. It's back into Sam's room. Like, are we going back out? I feel like there'd be dialogue by now if we were going back out, you know. I don't think I'm supposed to go this way. I think that's actually, it's something I haven't really thought about until right now. It's a really cool mechanic that the game uses, kind of interspersing dialogue on the screen when you're going in the right direction to let you know you are going in the right direction, you know. Because it can be, especially in games like this, in walking simulators I've found, they can be surprisingly confusing to navigate. And something that I've been thinking about actually about walking simulators, okay, we saved again, but something that I've been thinking about walking simulators is that I think the reason why this works so well, like I mightn't have said it yet, but I'm really enjoying this, but I think the reason why this works so well versus the likes of Everybody's Gone to the Rapture or either one is because it's in a confined space. So what was the other walking simulator? Gone Home. I played Gone Home and I liked Gone Home. I thought Gone Home was good. I thought it was a little bit overrated, but like this is comfortably better than Gone Home, I think. But I did like Gone Home. I thought it was good. I definitely enjoyed it more than Ether 1 and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and I think it is for that reason. I think it's because it's in a confined space. Ah, here we go, yes.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Cool. I think that is because my problem with walking simulators, as I mentioned at the start, is that if you go the wrong way in a walking simulator, it's excruciating
When my
to
dad
have to
died,
track back
I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
because you have to move so slowly. You know, like it's like if you go for like
I'm
2
sure Edie was
minutes,
happy to have her back.
2.5 minutes, just say in the wrong direction, suddenly it's like a
And to see
5 minute
kids in the
turnaround.
house
You know.
again.
But with this, if you know where you're going and the space is pretty confined, you don't find yourself hyper aware of how slow your movement is, which I find is a big problem in walking simulators, but it's not in
The
this.
house had to get a little bigger, but
And I think it is a
Edie was used to that.
combination of a few things. One of them being that you're in a confined space, another one being that the dialogue is or not the dialogue, I suppose it would. Yeah, maybe more. The monologues are interspersed while to show you're going the right direction, and because it's a really engaging narrative. I don't know about anyone who's been watching me from the start, but I'm heavily invested in this family. Like, I really want to know what's going. So, actually, on that note, I'm going to shut up and stop talking about my own opinions of walking simulators and get back into the story. So basically what we were saying there is that, you know, they're happy to have children back in the house and all that, and for a while it was good, it was happy, and then it didn't last, which is very sad. Of course, scientific method, important. I would suggest that everyone becomes familiar with that, because the world we're living in these days would be a lot more normal, be a lot less, you know, sensationalist if people actually follow that, but they don't. Ever.
The beginning of the end
Wow,
was
that's windy.
Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh no, I can see where this is going. Let me just check. Milton died when he was 11. Yeah, fuck's sake.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing
Oh, he
he
just
left
disappeared,
behind
yeah.
was a room full of paintings.
Yeah, so there's no actual death date for Milton, or we don't know if he's actually dead, I suppose. Maybe we do, we'll see, but I have to say, I can't have too much of this left, because I'm assuming that the game is gonna ultimately like move through Dawn. So yeah, it's already Dawn, Milton and Lewis left. Maybe that's it. Like, I can't really see what else the game could have. Maybe it'll have more, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think we have a huge amount left, really. Okay, say what you want about, you know, the parents in this might have been neglectful, they might have been, you know, a bit inconsiderate of the dangers, but they knew how to build their children some fucking cool rooms. Also, I really recognize that piano music. I don't know where it's from, but it's really nice.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Yeah, I love those things. They're really cool. Like, what a creative and... oh, what was that? What a creative and interesting family. This, I have to say, this game is outstanding. It really is. Like, the storytelling, the artistic creativity. The storytelling, the artistic creativity, the attention to detail, the diversity of mechanics, it's just
I was
pure
told Milton
imagination, you know? It's really, really... as a cohesive whole, it's outstanding, I think. The visuals, the music, setting, the engaging narrative, the voice acting as well, something I don't think I've spoken about enough. I mentioned it in passing, but the main character's voice acting is superb, in my opinion. It's up there with as good as I've heard in any game, to be perfectly honest. I think it's absolutely brilliant. As well, I didn't get a chance to comment because I was talking about something else when I was looking at that, but it looked as if he was like painting himself a door and kind of disappearing through it. You know, that kind of magician's trick where it's like, you know, they kind of like put themselves in a box and disappear.
Mom
It
spent
seems like
months
he was like
searching for
painting
my brother.
himself a
Then she
magic
sealed the
door
doors.
with which to disappear through. She spent months. Yeah, so like she seems to be sealing doors when people die, which is common. Like you see that kind of sealant around the door frames of a lot of doors in the house. Great music, great musical choice as well. Really hits the right notes there. Oh, and he could see the house, the old house from here.
Whatever Milton had
Interesting.
found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
I don't understand. What does that mean? I don't understand that. What do you mean? He found something in the house. Her mom didn't want it getting out. Didn't want what? What he found, or the fact that he had found something? Very intriguing. Did we already go through here? I think we might have. Did we go up? Or did we come from up? Yeah, we know we came from there, didn't we? So I think we could maybe go up here.
Mom definitely blamed
Yes.
Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Okay, just let me check. Who's Lewis again? Lewis was Edith and Milton's brother. He was 4 years older than Milton, so he would have been about 14 when Milton went missing. Her mom blamed Edie.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Yeah, so... Sorry, I couldn't... Lewis... Is this to blame or something? But then Lewis just went to hid in his room till his mom got him a job at the cannery. I know they mentioned that earlier. He got a lot of free fish or something.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
The smell was
Newly
weed.
sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
His mind began to... Oh no, please don't make me put my hand in that thing.
wander.
Oh. Oh, cool. Look at this.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
This is
Then
very
something
cool.
moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Could be the beginnings of
He took it
psychosis.
very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
It's a pretty good city.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Going
Then one
more
day
and
it
more
struck
inside
me
himself.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Wonder what he's gonna do.
He held an election for mayor,
I assume he's gonna win.
and he won.
Yeah, I can see that coming. He held an
They
election
begged
for
him to
mayor,
stay,
and
but
he
his mind was
narrowly
already
lost.
wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
I love how easy it is to do this cannery, like to move the
New
fish over
Louisville.
while doing the daydream stuff. It's like it really echoes what she's saying about him.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home
Minneapolis.
from the cannery.
Oh Jesus!
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome queen or beautiful prince? Let's go for beautiful prince.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for
Sinister serpents. I like snakes.
sinister serpents.
Oh shit!
He followed the sound of his
I like sitars. They're cool as shit.
electric sitar.
Ah, I missed one. Bam. Bam.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh shit, I forgot about the fish. The story
Even
was getting
then,
too
his
interesting there.
logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
It's a really cool world. Like imagine the diversity of skills you'd need to be able to create a game like this, and like
But he was so proud
the-
of having created it.
the melding together of styles.
In his
Melding?
own eyes,
Oh,
he'd
that's a
become
word.
something greater than a
Molding?
game.
Melding? I don't know. Combination of styles. He'd become a god.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Ah, that's kind of sad.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah, well, it is kind of hard to argue that. I suppose it is. Now I'm Lewis. Hello, Lewis.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
That's kind of sad.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Woo!
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yeah, yeah. Da 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 da. Woo woo.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Put it on.
Bend down his head.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What?
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
I thought that was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
That's also incredibly sad. Well, there's his big bong anyway.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Sounds like me. Not really. I'm the best. Okay. So, as we were saying last time, I think the only ones left are Edie and Odin. So, I think we're going to find out about those two very soon. Really picturesque setting.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Kind of don't know where I'm going because it's dialogue. Okay.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Wow, so I think we're most likely right at the end. Let's go.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
I wonder what we're gonna find. Very curious.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Jesus.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Whoa, shit, I wonder what's in
When
here.
the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
For fuck's sake, Mom. I want
I
to hear
kicked
the
and
story.
screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
That's very sad.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Jesus Christ.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Oh, shit.
I just want to meet you.
I'm being
And tell
born.
you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.